Hey, Matt.
Hey, Wayne. Morning.
Morning.
Oh, Sam, looking nice. Look at all that drywall. Oh, I bet it's
You got to
fun.
get one of IP's color changing lamps.
Yeah, that was great. I really want to know what they did to make that.
Sam.
Join the meeting.
You'll wait till 1 minute after and then get started. While we're doing that, it looks like things are already set to record. So maybe the meeting is set to automatically record. I see Philippe nodding. Okay, so somebody then needs to push it over to YouTube later.
I will do.
You'll do. Okay, cool. And I'll be scribed today. And let's see here. Yep, Lindsay's on. It's dark in Oregon. You can see, but Lindsay, you've got the floor.
I'm awake, I swear.
So Lindsay, you've got item 1. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't hear what you said. Yeah, I just have a couple of reminders here for folks. One is to remind everyone that it's important that you nominate your peers for discretionary bonuses. It means the most coming from your peers. And we've been told that in general, as an organization, we're not issuing these enough. So make sure you recognize people for going above and beyond. The second is around our planning breakdown meetings. We decided to make them weekly for now. We hope that we can find a way to make this more asynchronous over time, but I feel that we're getting a lot of value out of these discussions. So I've scheduled them to be weekly and they're on the stage or the Defend stage calendar. Let me know if you need me to add you explicitly in case the times change. And that being said, the container and app security meeting for next Monday has been moved due to the holiday. There's a US holiday for President's Day. So that'll be on, I think, Tuesday now. Philippe, we can live stream to YouTube. There's some instructions. I have not done it yet.
Yeah, but it's not going to record, I guess. I don't know. It's going to record as well?
Sorry, what?
It's going to record as well? When you do a live stream?
Well, I mean, it records not as much as that it's up on YouTube, right?
Yeah, but it's live, so...
Oh, you're able to view it in the future. I believe so. Here, I mean, I assumed so when I was reading through those instructions. It seemed weird otherwise.
I really don't know.
I'll try it for one of the future meetings and let you know what happens.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's all for me.
Cool.
Go back to sleep now.
So with the great planning breakdown meetings, which I know we're just getting started with, but I think they're going really well so far. We were doing a lot of planning breakdown things or like things in this meeting. It was going across the 2 different teams, wasn't as efficient. So now that we're doing that, I think we can move this meeting to every other week. So still alternating the time, but doing every other week. Any objections? Any alternate ideas? Thumbs up, thumbs down? See 2 thumbs up, some more thumbs up. All right, so every other week. Great. Matt, and I'll make that change. Matt, floor is yours.
Cool. So something top of mind this morning. I was looking through the handbook. I didn't see anything specifically about how we should move a defect or a bug into a milestone with respect to the workflow labels. I know we would typically put it into planning breakdown first if this were an issue we wanted the team to look at in size. I guess I don't know if that's appropriate or not. So I've been sticking scheduling on them. Wanted to hear the opinions and wisdoms of people that might know a little bit better.
I guess the only reason you skip scheduling or planning breakdown is if it doesn't need to be broken down, right? Which I think would probably depend on the bug.
That's kind of what I was debating, but then I also, in arguing with myself over this, was thinking, well, if it's a P1, S1, is there really a reason to do that, or wouldn't it just move straight to action anyway, regardless of sizing? So I was kind of looking for some guidance on how this is normally handled. Didn't find anything in the handbook, but
I think we might need to look at it a bit on a case-by-case basis. Like you said, for P1 bugs, we wouldn't even want to wait till the next planning. I mean, clearly we'd adjust the scope of our current iteration to handle something that's customer-facing and urgent. And for a small bug that's like maybe a UI defect or something, obviously planning breakdown wouldn't be necessary. But if it's large, there'd be no reason for us to not want the benefit of the discussion early on.
Cool. Since I am not going to attempt to judge size, it sounds like if it's not P1S1, then
I think you have a better gut for a judge of size than you think. If you see a front end small defect,
yeah, there's the one that I'm thinking of in particular. It's hard to tell whether or not basically if the back end is already there and we just haven't wired up something on the front end, not too concerned about it. In this case, it may be a more fundamental structural change. So I think my answer is going to be, I'm going to put this one in planning breakdown just so we have visibility.
so here's a question and a reminder for everyone. The end of this week is the cutoff date for MRs to be merged and part of the release for 12.8. Clearly, we weren't able to get through enough all of the issues that Matt and Sam had hoped that we could get through planning breakdown prior to the end of this week. So there's going to be a few issues in the upcoming iteration that didn't make it through planning breakdown. Are going to go through our old school, individual grooming, assign it off to an individual, let them go through that process on their own. So Matt, this defect might be one of those. So expect that over the course of the next few days, we might be assigning some issues to you for grooming. I know that the time is getting tighter. I mean, I think we're supposed to start execution of the next release next week. Is that correct, Matt, who's been looking at this quite a bit in the last few days?
I think that sounds right. Sorry, I'm actually applying the planning breakdown label to the one that I had in mind, just so I don't forget, so we can actually look at it later this afternoon.
But I guess the point is this is a process that I believe is going to help us, but we're not going to be able to get coverage of all the issues we're going to be working on upcoming milestones in these meetings before we're supposed to start execution of the milestone. That doesn't mean that we can't keep talking about them, but the idea of planning breakdown is to make sure that we've answered the big questions and that we've broken things into smaller pieces and that we're taking smaller deliverable slices of technology, a little smaller component size deliverables, which obviously you want to do before before the iteration starts. So we'll get there. We're just not there yet. Sorry, it was a lot of words.
I didn't get all the details in the notes, but it looks like, Matt, you're putting in a summary, which is great. Thank you. Yeah, so you're able to join us today. Anything to share with the group? Not to call on you or anything.
Nothing in particular. I just thought that from this week on, I just start popping into meetings to see what's happening where.
Okay, cool. Good to see you. All
I,
right.
I think just like one last comment on the workflow labels thing. Now that I'm waking up, I don't know if it's a problem if we're jumping the gun to scheduling as well. I mean, if it seems like we need to break things down more, we can just shove it back to planning breakdown. But I just want to make sure that we're not being like extremely rigid with our new planning approach. So I don't think that there's like, I agree with everything that we just said on save as course, but why not just kick it to scheduling if something seems like it's pretty straightforward? Like Lindsay was saying, I think we can all trust, we're all here for a reason, so we can trust each other's judgment.
Although, Lucas, you brought up a good point there. I guess what I would hope would not happen is by skipping that step and then evaluating it, realizing something was like a 5 in terms of the defect fix, which might, in the case of something like a P3, S3, would influence whether I put it in the current milestone or the next milestone. So I think I've kind of talked myself into planning breakdown as at least a place for engineering to get first eyes on it and say, yeah, this looks small, or maybe this is big. And I think we should be doing that upfront instead of sort of in release.
Great. Quite a bit of silence. Sounds like we're done.
Just one, since we're rewinding the agenda. Lindsay, are you sure you want to live stream the meetings that we're going to have?
I wasn't saying I was going to do this one. I might
I'm
just
sorry?
do like one to see. Sorry, what was your? I'm not going to live stream this call.
No, not this call, but the other
In
ones
general,
for the.
avoiding live streaming, Philippe, because I feel like there's the chance that we could, mention something that we don't want to. But if you look at the handbook, there's always the don't worry about that. You can pull it back down.
Okay.
So it is addressed in the handbook. Give it a read. I'd like to try it for something that's maybe a planning breakdown meeting or something that feels less risky. Like we're not gonna bring up any recruiting or anything like that, just to get some practice with it. I could do it on a coffee chat with you if you'd rather.
Sure, let's do that. That's better. There's always, a tab that you have somewhere. Oops, oh, it's live now. I've been there, so that's why I'm a bit concerned about live streaming when we do this kind of very casual meetings. If it's the CEO one-on-one and we're not Sid, is really trained for this kind of exercise, but we're not. So at some point we might mention some candidate or some customer, and that would be too late. We still have the ability to remove a recording or not to post a recording.
That's what
like we
the
did last
handbook
week.
states, is it's never too late. You can always go back and remove something, and anybody has the ability within I think it mentions within the unfiltered account to remove them as well. So.
All right, that's good to know. All right, thanks. And big up for the Wolves, son. It's getting in shape. We can see the iteration there. That's good.
So any other topics? As we bounced around a bit, I figured I'd ask, which is just fine, of course, I figured I'd ask the question. Great, thanks everybody. Have a great day.